Welcome to Daifukuji Soto Mission Thanksgiving service. My name is Charlene Hoju-ji.
And my name is Yukino Sasaki, and we'll be happy to be your MCs today.
Our Sangha has come together to offer our expressions of Thanksgiving. We would like to especially welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Trinidad Hunt, who will be delivering her message later during the service. This service will be officiated by Reverend Jiko Nakade and assisted by Deacon Amy Jikai Nakade.
The Waikato Plum Blossom Choir will now sing Sambo Goa Song, or Song of Three Treasures. Please rise when Reverend Rico enters the hall. remain standing for the singing of Vatana T. Sarana, which is on your program. Please be seated. Reverend Rico will now recite the Nengpo Wogo Izama words.
Let us put our hands together in Gasho. On this 16th day of November, in the year 2025, at the Daifukuji Soto Mission in Honolulu, Hawaii, I and those assembled express our gratitude to the Buddha and Bodhisattvas who teach us to live with wisdom and compassion. At this time of Thanksgiving, we offer flowers and candlelight to the Buddha as well as to all beings. May all beings be safe and happy. May all live together harmoniously and experience the abundance of life. And may we all awaken together. The precious lives we live today have come to us from all beings, the natural world that holds us in its web of infinite life. Grateful are our hearts for the blessings we've received. Deep is our responsibility to care for our sacred land, the land of our ancestors, to nurture our communities, to live in wise and skillful ways, benefiting all people and all forms of life. How grateful we are for the Buddha because he is a great teacher, for the Dharma because it is good medicine, and for the Sangha, because they are our excellent friends. We pray that all be blessed with health, vitality, peace, and happiness, and that our children and children's children may learn to live in harmony with the land and with each other. May the merit generated by this Thanksgiving service go out into the universe, benefiting all beings in the great circle of life. Namu Kie Butsu, Namu Kie Ho, Namu Kie So. We take refuge in the Buddha, we take refuge in the Dharma, we take refuge in the Sangha.
Next is Hosa Goasam by the Vayakako and the offering of flowers by representatives from our various temple groups. Hosa Goasam is a song about gratitude, about giving thanks for a drink of water and a cup of tea, for friends' warm hospitality, and for each precious meeting with the people we love. Representing the Kyodan board, Barbara Shoshin Bolt. Representing the Fujikai, Susie Cien Weaver. Representing the Baikako, Michiko Enomoto. Representing the Zazenkai, Derek Nakamura. Representing the Dharma Seiki, Makana Nakamura and Oliver Spain.
Yo, or Heart Sutra, first in Japanese and then in English. The words can be found on your program.
Thank you. happy Thanksgiving service. We recited the Makanya, Ramita Shingyo, and offered flowers, candlelight, and food. We dedicate the merits to our great teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, the compassionate Hawaii Kanno Bosatsu, and the ever-guiding three treasures. We pray for the safety, well-being, and sound practice of our Sangha, for peace in our temple and community, and for peace throughout the world. May this good karma be extended to all relations, and may we realize the Buddha way together.
This morning's Dharma message will be given by Ms. Trinidad Hunt, who is joined by her niece and friends. Born and raised in Hawaii, Ms. Hunt is a fifth-generation islander living in Kailua, Kona, and is also a local author. Trinidad has over 40 years of experience in corporate leadership, management, and staff development. Trin, as her friends call her, and business partner Lynn Truer established Elan Enterprises LLC, which includes Elan Learning Institute, Elan Asia Pacific Australia, and Trinidad Hunt Publishing Group, at one time with sites in Hawaii, Australia, Wisconsin, and Canada. These offices provide organizational training to corporations worldwide. Trinidad hosted her East Coast radio talk show, Drawing Outside the Lines, Becoming a 21st Century Changemaker. One of her signature pieces, Dimensions in Leadership, was presented in both corporate and educational sectors. She was awarded the prestigious VIP Woman of the Year Award from the National Association of Professional Women in 2010. In 2013, she joined the ranks of Heroes for Humanity. Recognized in Who's Who of American Women in Business, Hunt's expertise in business and leadership received global attention. She was invited to the People's Republic of China and India to speak about total quality management for emerging businesses. It is with great pleasure that we introduce to you Ms. Trinidad Hunt.
Good morning, everybody. God bless you. May the joy, the heavenly blessing come this way as we speak. Thank you. I was asked this morning, I'm just overwhelmed with love, forgive me. I need to take a moment and just be still with all of you. I was asked this morning, handed by Reverend Chico Nakade, 2 pictures, and I was asked to show them of my grandparents. For those of you who do not know my heritage, my grandfather was Reverend Shinkaku Hunt, and he was the highest ranking Caucasian Buddhist priest in the world when he passed away. And he's the reason that Buddhism did not lose its thread in the war, during the Second World War, because he was the only temple left open. Barbed wire, all the ministers were taken. and barbed wired the temples, and my grandfather continued his work. There's my grandfather in his robes, as he's probably standing behind me. I invited him to be here. And his wife, my grandmother, Reverend Dorothy Hunt, and she founded 3 schools in the islands so that he could do his ministry work. And he never earned a cent. After that, she took care of him and all the 5 children. So I thank them for bringing us together today. I came today to share a story. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thrilled to be here at Thanksgiving with the gratitude of all of us as we start the season of gratitude and giving. And I'm grateful to be here with all of you today as we think about our families, and we give thanks for family and friends. We give thanks for the condition in which we are allowed to live here in the beautiful islands and the blessings we get from the universe in this land that we love so much. So I honor the ali'i of the land and the ancestors of the land here. So I wanted to tell you a story today because as we are gathered together, I've been so moved by the service. Forgive me, I'm just moved. Thank you. So as we gather here together, I wanted to share the story, and you probably know it, but the story of the Golden Buddha. So the story of the Golden Buddha is that in the 13th century, when Thailand was doing very well, they created, the monks of a temple created the Golden Buddha, and he was 5.5 tons of pure gold. A beautiful, beautiful golden Buddha. And as the centuries went on, in the 17th century, somewhere in 1767, it was said that the Burmese army was gathering. And as the Burmese army gathered, what happened was they were going to come into Thailand, and all the monks knew it. And they took stucco and dirt and mud and covered this beautiful Buddha to protect it from the invading armies taking the gold and melting it for themselves. And so they covered this beautiful, huge 5-ton Buddha with stucco and mud. Time passed, all of the monks of that temple were killed, everybody was slaughtered, and centuries later, in 1955 to 57, the story has different ways of telling it, but I'm going to tell you the one I know. In 1955 to 57, a monk was sitting there before the stucco Buddha, and all of a sudden, and it was a very dry season, so some of the stucco and mud was beginning to crack. And he's sitting there, and he opens his eyes, and there's a gleam poking through the stucco and mud. And he doesn't know what it is, so he gets up and he starts scratching a little bit, and there's more of a gleam, and there's more glow. And the monks came, and they slowly started to uncover. Oh, wait, I forgot that I'm doing my slides. I had worked so hard on them. So there's the covering on the wood. Okay, so now there's a glint, and then out of the glint comes the golden Buddha. See, did I do that? Metaphorically, of course, we know the story that beneath the mud, beneath the surface of this body temple, lies the golden Buddha within each of us. And that always inspires me to look at one another, not at the surface, but at the source, is such an important aspect of our training to become more enlightened every day, our training to become more loving and compassionate every day, to see beneath the body to the absolutely glowing golden Buddha that lies within. And it seems that every religion has this, every religion speaks of it. They call it different names, the light, and all of those names, and it's all the same. So then I had this vision. What if everything was magical and they changed all the street signs and they said this? Wouldn't that be exciting? You're driving along and the street sign says, remember to remember who you are. You are not the surface, you are the source. Isn't that great? And so I thought, well, I'm going to share it with you because I saw this. And then there was this one, warning, by the way, remember to remember who everybody else is. Don't forget that. And then I ran across this quote by Buddha himself. Imagine that every person in the world is enlightened except for you, right? And that they are all teachers, each doing the perfect thing to help us learn perfect patience, perfect wisdom, perfect compassion. And in the awakening to this street sign, which I imagined in my memory there, up in my visions, I met a very dear man who has come into my life, Joe Polycivic. Did I say it okay? Sort of. So Joe came to stay with me with his wife, and I'm going to share a story, a personal story, that led to a really deep love and sharing that happened. So Joe is a professional photographer. You see his camera in his hand? He's a professional. He made all his money through doing weddings, big weddings, like really good. He's a very good professional photographer. And he came in with his wife to help with the Kona Quantum Vitality Center, who Jason and Kat and Poppy are here. And they came in from Arizona. We're setting up a vitality center in Copico Plaza. And I invite all of you to come. It's right below the bike shop. So Joe and his wife came in, and they stayed at my place downstairs. I have an apartment, and I got to know them. And Joe shared the story of his daughter, who is on your left, I think. The long hair, up on the screen. The long hair, yeah, on the screen, Barbara. My God, it's so real, it's in the room. And his adopted daughter, so this is Michaela, I believe, on his right hand, your right hand, whatever it is, and the short hair is Mackenzie, his adopted daughter. And they got Mackenzie a couple of years after she was taken from the mother, and it was one of those make-believe drug and this and that and trauma, and they adopted her, and they could never, he said to me, we could never make it work. It didn't work. As long as I've known her, she was a rebel. She was hurt so deeply by the trauma, and she never came around. But he said, through adopting her, I opened my heart and stripped myself of much of the ego to try to reach her over the years. And so he said to me, my life would never have been the same without that child. And by the way, that child passed away on January 9th, I believe, of this year, from her heart giving out from being on the streets. So Joe said she transformed him. And then Joe and Denise, and here's his beautiful wife, Denise. They're teachers. They're teachers that live in Arizona, Arizona. And yeah, that's Jason and Kat and Poppy again, right? Put your hands up at least, so they know. And that's the Kona Quantum Vitality. Okay. So Joe and Denise came in to help with the setup and painting and all of that stuff, and they stayed downstairs. And Joe told me that he had taken his wife. They had done 7 years in a camper and traveled the United States and did beautiful things, connecting with people all over the United States. And then he heard that the Mardi Gras was going on. He wanted to take his wife to Mardi Gras, and he wanted to photograph the people at the Mardi Gras. But what they did was they wore T-shirts that said free hugs. And that he never stopped giving hugs for whatever 2 days. She and he were running around. People would walk up and say, I want a hug, I need a hug. And so he never took any pictures. So, and right towards the end of this experience, and Joe, I hope I'm honoring it, right towards the end of the experience, he said that he saw 2 dirty kids, but he didn't know the name of them. They were 2 kids, street kids. Teenagers maybe, or young 20s. And he was fascinated. They came, they got a hug, he was fascinated. He and his wife took off in their camper and they, I don't know, 100 miles out or 50 miles out. He gets this feeling, go back and photograph these kids. Go back, take your camera and photograph these kids. And he thought, what? And this strong feeling took over him and he said, honey, to Denise, he said, we've got to go back. I have a strong feeling that I need to photograph these children, these young people. And they're children between probably 14 and 30. You know, that's pretty much the median age in the early 20s. And they're on the streets. They're living on the streets. So he said that he photographed these kids. And I wanted to share this with you because I thought it was profound. As you're looking, as you're viewing the kids, you'll see, first of all, the photography is brilliant. Go beyond the photography, and then go beyond the mess of them, how messy they are, and then go beyond everything, and go to see the Buddha within, through their eyes. Be still, and look from your heart. Let your heart open, and look into the eyes of this child. He captured it, didn't he? And this. Can someone read that to us?
I used to think life had to be perfect. I've learned to see perfection in the imperfect by Nats.
Thank you. And then this. Look in the eyes again. And he, by the way, it was 2 of the dirty kids. They call themselves dirty kids. It was 2 of the young people who said to him, and well, it's such a perfect metaphor for the golden Buddha, isn't it? The dirty Buddha. The two of them said that they would allow him to photograph them, and then they called all of their friends. So he ended up doing, and I'll show you the picture of all of them eventually, because they all acknowledged him and wanted to be photographed. He ended up, I'll show you in a moment. Look at this. He brought his dog to be photographed. Isn't that precious? Would you take me with my dog? And he befriended all of them. And it was in the beginning he said, you have to befriend them quickly because they don't trust people. And this one, can somebody read that out loud, please? You want me to read it?
My father inspires me to do something perfect.
He's following his dreams by doing something different. He's a great guitar player on the streets. Look at the love there. Again, looking past the outfit, looking past everything, and seeing the love that he is projecting into his precious puppy. I just want to be happy, so I need to be loved. Precious? How about this one? Unity, unity, unity. Take care of each other. Look at the eyes and the laughter and the joy in that face. And this is not to say there's no drugs on the street. There are. And this is not to say it's not messy. It's messy. But I think you and I, the more we open our hearts, the more we tenderize our hearts with the compassion of Buddha, the more we can see more deeply into the souls who are walking our streets, by the way, more and more. Kathy and I are starting a brown paper bag ministry. I don't know, I'm making it up. And I ordered the paper bags. We're gonna go to the streets.
Peanut butter jelly sandwiches, ramen, water, applesauce to start.
I might be a bum, look at that, but I'm a bum with what?
Standards.
Yeah, with standards. I'm a bum with standards. Please honor me instead of looking down on me. And this one, and it was Buddhist, you can tell his spelling, right? Can you read it out loud, somebody?
We need to get rid of the institutions that divide us, like religion and politics. Buddha.
Buddha spelled incorrectly. Don't you love it? The innocence. And this one. You want to read it out loud, somebody?
Share everything, hold on to nothing. Things do not matter. People do.
People matter. Smile. And this one, and I'll read it. This one hit me pretty deeply. Will you pause with me here for a moment? I'd like to ask you a question. Yes, you. How often did you intentionally make eye contact today? It's been said that the eyes are the window to the soul. Could you do better tomorrow? Another question. How often do you intentionally make eye contact with a stranger today for the sole purpose of acknowledging them, greeting their humanity? Isn't that gorgeous? And this. Can I tell you a secret? The kids on the streets long to be seen, simply acknowledged. Do you still wish to withhold your gaze? What are you afraid of? Personally, I'm afraid of not being seen. Aren't you? Aren't you longing to be deeply known also? I recall seeing a wooden sign once that read, "To the world you may be just one person, but to one person you may be the world." Pause for a moment. Look at me. Hello. I'm anonymous. Will you see me? And this is all the kids that they photographed,
Free hugs.
that they gained trust with. And you can see Joe and his wife down there. And this is the book he did. And he did this size book, and he gave every single one of those kids a book so they could carry it in their backpack, so they could remember that somebody saw them. Somebody looked at them deeply, and it mattered. And so he gave this book to every one of them. I want to thank Joe and Denise for their contribution. And I want you to look for a moment in this eyes of this one. Pause for a moment. Look at me. Will you see me? Now I'd like to take a moment to do something very unusual. To look into each other's eyes. Would you find somebody that you're either sitting next to? And imagine touch for a moment the area between in the breastbone, and imagine that your heart is open, just really open, okay? And as you're looking, receive and send this message, because this is the message. Look, it's in the Kona Coast magazine, and it says this: hope begins with you. Listen to this message. We send a message. You are seen, you are loved, and you are never forgotten. Isn't that gorgeous? So from here, from the heart, up to the eyes, you are seen and you are loved. Turn and face your neighbor. How precious. Now turn and face another neighbor. Come on, give yourself an open heart. Oh, how precious. They're trying to reach you. Open up. Thank you. Thank you so much for being daring and stretching your comfort zone. I'd like to close with my grandmother's poem that is all over Japan, all over China, all over Canada, all over the United States, all the way to New York. It has been used in the temples since it was written. And I'd like, if you can, if you would, if we could say it together. And if you are not a Buddhist, just put in whatever word it is for you. My grandmother actually had me grow up with this poem at her school, and she took the word Buddha out in honor of the fact that there were many different children in her school. She had 600 children at one school, 900 at another, and her third school had 400. So my grandmother was a moving force in the life of her husband. And by the way, just a little aside, in the 1950s, my grandfather never left home without a green drink. My grandmother made a green drink for him every morning. So if you think it's new, it's not. And that's how he lived and worked until he was 90 years of age, by the way. He went to the temple every day until 6 months before he passed. Are you ready? I am a link in Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. Would you hold hands, please? Grab somebody next to you. In gratitude, may I keep my link bright and strong. Kind and gentle to every living thing, and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Buddha's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may they all attain perfect peace. My dear grandmother became a reverend because her husband did, and she supported him. Honest to God, that's what happened. He became a Buddhist monk, a priest, and she said, I'm with you. And by the way, they had 13,000, they started in Hilo and had 13,000 children in their walk around the Hilo area, singing songs and teaching 13,000 children in the camps, in the Japanese camps. So my grandfather started here on this island, and my father was born in Wainaku above Hilo. So thank you. And then, of course, there's Plato. My niece walks in today with this shirt. And I was actually going to wear it under my top and then take my top off, like Superman.
Oh, I thought would be kind.
Isn't that precious?
Yeah.
So she gave me this gift. And Plato said, be kind, because everyone you meet is on a hard journey. The planet is a challenge, and you know every one of us is brave to be here. And every time we reach our hand out for someone else and help someone else, it is an incredible mark of the love of everything in this universe. So thank you for that. And finally, I honor being here, and may we enter this season with gratitude, with an open heart, goodwill and compassion towards all our fellow travelers on planet Earth. Thank you for having me in Goshaw.
rise for the singing of the song of Haikisama Day, which is on your program, insert and remain standing for the show. On the sunny slope.